Hello, students, and welcome. In our English exams, sometimes we feel so sure about an answer, right? But then, when we get our papers back, we've lost marks because of one tiny little word. It's so common. Well, today, we're going to fix that. We're going to look at some special adjectives and comparisons. And I promise, by the end of our session, you'll feel much, much more confident.
So, does this happen to you? Losing marks for small words like or the? I know it can be really frustrating, especially when you thought you did everything perfectly. But don't you worry. Today, we're going to unlock the secrets of these small but very powerful words.
So here's what we're going to cover today. First, we'll see how small words like little and few can have a big meaning. Then, we'll tackle some tricky pairs that often cause confusion, words about age, time, and place. After that, we'll look at some special rules for comparisons. And to finish, I'll give you a handy grammar checklist.
Okay, let's begin with our first section. We're talking about small words that carry a big meaning. And we'll start by understanding little and few.
First, let's just remember a very basic rule. We use little for things you cannot count. These are called uncountable nouns. And we use few for things you can count, or countable nouns. Think about it. Can you say one water, two waters? No, right? So we say little water. But you can say one friend, two friends. So we say few friends. Simple.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Just by adding the small article a, the whole meaning changes. When we use little by itself, the meaning is negative. It means almost nothing. But when we say a little, the meaning becomes positive. It means you have at least some. Let's look at an example.
Okay, look at this sentence. I have little money. I cannot buy chocolates for you. See, when you say you have little money, it's a negative feeling. It means you have almost no money at all. So, no chocolates for your friend. It sounds a bit sad, doesn't it?
But now, look what happens when we add a. I have a little money. I can afford to buy a bar of chocolate with it. Ah, see the difference? Now it's positive. It means you have some money. Maybe not a lot, but enough to buy a chocolate. That tiny completely changed the situation from negative to positive.
Okay, so the same exact logic applies to few and a few. Remember, we use these for countable nouns. So what do you think the difference is? Just like before, few by itself is negative. It means not many, almost none. But a few is positive. It means you have some.
Let's see this with another example. If someone says, few friends visit me, it sounds negative, doesn't it? It gives a feeling of being lonely. But if they say, sometimes a few friends visit me, that sounds much better. It's positive. It means they have some company. See how that one small word, a, changes the entire feeling of the sentence?
Excellent work. I think you've got little and few sorted. So now, let's move on to our next section, tricky pairs. These are words that look similar and often confuse us, especially in exams. We'll look at words about age, time, and place.
Okay, first up, elder and eldest versus older and oldest. This one is actually very simple. We only use elder and eldest when we are talking about members of our own family. For example, my eldest brother. For all other people and even things, we use older and oldest. So you can have an older friend or talk about the oldest pair of shoes you own.
So just remember, older and oldest can be used for both people and things. It's the general word you can use for almost anything, whether it's a person, a building, or a tree.
Right, our next tricky pair, later and latest versus latter and last. Here's the clue you need to look for. Does the word show time or does it show position or order? Later and latest always refer to time. For example, what is the latest news? But latter and last refer to position in a sequence, like she prefers to sit on the last bench.
And for our last pair in this section, we have nearest and next. This is another one about distance versus position. Nearest always talks about distance, so who lives nearest to the school? We're asking about the shortest distance. But next talks about position in a line or sequence. For example, her house is next to mine. They are side by side.
All right, you're doing so well. Now we move to our third section, special rules of comparison. Now that we know which adjective to use, let's learn how to compare things correctly.
Okay, so when we want to say two things are equal or the same, we use the structure as. For example, she is as cunning as a fox,
But when we want to show that two things are not equal in a negative statement, we use not so as. For instance, she is not so cunning as her sister. It means her sister is more cunning.
Now, this is a very, very important rule, especially for exams. Pay close attention. For some adjectives like senior, junior, superior, and inferior, we must always use the word to after them, never then. So we say, he is senior to me. We do not say, he is senior than me. That is incorrect. Remember, if the word ends in OR, you use to.
Next, we have something called absolute adjectives. Now, what does that mean? It means these adjectives already express the highest possible degree of something. You can think of them as already being at the very top. So because they are already at the highest level, they cannot be compared. For example, look at these words: unique, complete, perfect, full, ideal. Let's take the word perfect. Can something be more perfect than something else? No. Perfect means it is already 100%. The same goes for unique. Something is either unique or it is not. You cannot be more unique. So we don't use more or most with these words. Wow, we have covered a lot today. So to bring it all together, let's make a quick checklist. This will be your grammar checklist to help you remember everything we've learned.
So, the next time you're looking at a sentence and you're not sure, just ask yourself these questions. 1. Is the noun countable or uncountable? This helps you choose between few and little. 2. Does the sentence feel positive or negative? This helps you decide if you need to add a. 3. What am I talking about? Is it family, time, or distance? This helps with pairs like elder and older. And 4. Does the adjective end in or? Because if it does, you must use to, not than.
And there you have it. So, I want to leave you with this final thought. Instead of just trying to memorize all these rules, how can you start looking for clues in the sentence itself? Grammar is like being a detective. Look for the clues, and you will always find the right answer. Keep practicing, and you will do great. All the best!